Hey DVG fam, alright guys, today we have a Q&A video.
Me, Ava and Chloe walking home by ourselves, just loads of men just shouting things. My friend had men banging on her door like, let us in when you're in this.
You were crying on the phone, 3 o'clock in the morning, bear in mind.
Loads of you guys have been asking us questions on Instagram and we have some juicy questions and some
Juicy answers.
Alright, cool. So guys, these are all the questions that you asked on Instagram and let's get straight into it. Have you got any holidays booked for the summer holidays? We actually have our wedding booked and we are going on a family honeymoon. So, why did you smile like that? Because it
Touchy
sounds...
subject.
No, because there's been drama.
There has been drama about the family
But firstly,
honeymoon.
guys, can we just say we are going to...
Somewhere we've never been before, but we are super excited. Well, most of us at this table are super excited to go.
I am. It's just...
Explain
Basically,
yourself.
they booked it and everything, and then I found out I had my A-level results day like a few days into the holiday. So I have been asking, begging to change my flights, but you can't change the flights. So I basically said, I will pay back the money you spent and I will rebuy my flights because I cannot miss my results day. Like, I can't. Mum's like, just based on, like, no, it's not the same. It's not the same.
No, but
She's missing a few days of the holiday to basically go into school to get an envelope to open her results. When obviously she can get her results, like someone could open her results and she could FaceTime them.
But then how am I going to frame them?
I think Kaci thinks like she's living in like a movie. I think she pictures
am.
going into the school and like all the teachers gathering around her. She's opening her results. She's getting all these like amazing results. There's like confetti, music, a little mariachi band comes out like da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then they like lift her up and they're like Kaci.
Yeah.
And
No,
what
they're gonna hand you the envelope and they're gonna see you out the door.
Yeah, but I don't care. It's just I just want to have like my results. I want to open them in person with all my friends around and we're all opening our results.
It's not
together.
just about the results though. The thing is that you're forgetting. There was no specific time that we had to come back. But Kaci was like, I want to go to a festival on this day. So we were like, okay, cool. So we're going less than 2 weeks to make sure we're back for her festival.
But you could have stayed longer and I could have phoned by myself.
But we
Because
just
we were like,
thought,
we'll just
okay,
go
we'll just
together,
all
go
come,
there and
like we're a
back.
family, we go together, we come back together. You know, it's what you do in your family. So anyway, yes, we're like, basically we said to Kaci, fine, if it means that much to you, then you can book a new flight and you can pay for it and you'll just miss a few days of the holiday. Sad times.
It's not, I get best of both worlds.
I mean, it's a holiday of a lifetime. But anyway, let's not, because we'll probably end up arguing about it.
A holiday that Kaci's also not coming to. We're taking Grace and Madison away in October.
Not just them two though.
Why? We're just taking Grace and
No,
Madison,
obviously
right?
as in like
We're all going, just
everyone
not
but
Kaci.
Kaci. But for their birthdays.
Yeah, we're
Because
going.
it is in the half
Casey's
term
at that
days.
age now where I get it, like she's not going to come on every family holiday, but that's why this one that she's kind of cutting short was like really special because we were saying, oh, it's probably the last one in a while that made
But
us
she
feel
also might have something very exciting coming up that we can't talk about. But
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
may have something exciting.
Which luckily, that's why we're quite lucky we didn't book them to
Yeah.
July. Like, more money I had to pay them back.
Which we never would normally do that, but like the whole money you paying, but it's
No,
kind of
no.
like
No, that was
principles
your-
in
that
like if
was-
it means that much to you.
No, it was
put
because
your money where your
I
mouth
said that
is.
I wouldn't.
because we
And she's
were
18 now,
going.
you know, don't have to pay for everything. Is Sophie going to a special needs secondary school and how does she feel about it? I thought that was quite a good question.
That is
because
really
we
sweet,
haven't actually
yeah.
spoken about it. Because at the moment, Sophie's in a mainstream school, but there is a special needs provision within the school where she spends most of her time now
Yeah, it's,
out
like,
of the
it's
mainstream.
something like 96% she's in the special needs provision where the gaps got so big. So
When she first started the school, she was maybe in there like 20%, and then as she's got older and the gap between her and her like peers in her
Yes,
class has got bigger, she's had to spend more and more time in there, which she
Yeah.
loves. She actually
yes,
genuinely
so
loves
she
it
is
there.
going to a special needs school, which we are really happy about. It is so lovely. It's literally like perfect for her. Instead of doing the the GCSEs and English and maths and stuff, she will still do English and maths, but in more of a way of like learning the real world. And she'll learn, like she's going to do a lot of cooking. She'll learn how to live independently. They take her to the shop and learn how to spend money. And
When me and
so
Sarah went round to
cute.
school, honestly, we were like
crying.
because it's so sweet.
lovely.
They've got animals there, and they can actually do a course, like a qualification in looking after animals.
Oh,
And they have posters on the wall of children that have left there and gone on to like, they had one girl who's like working at Sainsbury's, and then they had another
People
girl
that help out
who,
in the vets.
yeah,
the
and like,
animals.
I know it might not seem that special, but when you have a
I
child,
think it sounds like Grace's dream school, to be honest.
yeah, the animals and stuff, but yeah, it's really sweet. Also, I think someone commented on our video before about saying like that the term special needs is offensive, but I never thought it was. I'm sorry if anyone thinks it is. It's just a word that we've always used. Because her needs are special or different, or they're additional needs, but I don't know.
Oh, and for us, it's our way also of explaining it to the girls. We always say like her brain is special. So
of like explaining it to like Chloe.
So like Chloe, and we will do that to Maddie. Like Chloe's become at a level where she is now understanding a lot more than Sophie. So just the way I've always explained it is like Sophie has a different brain. It's very special, and just like so. So if it offends anyone else, like it's not what we intend to do.
I think it's hard for Chloe to understand that her older sister, but Chloe sometimes needs to act like the older sister in certain situations where it's like, you know, you need to sort of give Sophie a break because she's different.
Sophie only found out about changing to a new school about a week before she broke up from school, just because again like her brain wouldn't have understood it, and so we had to do it in like the shortest amount of time so that it wasn't too overwhelming for her. So she did go and see her new school. She was pretty nervous,
very anxious.
One day Joel took her, the next day I took her, and because she'd already, on the second day, it was like the cutest thing. We were driving and she was like sobbing because she was nervous to go, holding my hand, and then when we got there, like honestly, she's the bravest little girl I know, because she literally just like we turned up, she just sorted her face out, she sat up like, okay, I can do this, I got this. And I was like, it's okay, we can wait in the car 5 minutes. She's like, no, it's okay. In she went, she didn't even look back. Like, I was like, there was no kicking, screaming, no crying. Like, she's so brave.
She is.
That like, the whole way there, and it is like a good 25-minute drive, she was just crying. And I was trying to talk to her, and she didn't want to talk to me. But as soon as we got there, she was like, game face on, in I go. She had a great day.
She has this ability to switch, and almost like, if you've seen some of our other videos, like she was at the top of a water slide on like your birthday video in Spain, and she was so scared to go down, and Sarah was coaching her at the bottom, being like, dude, like we do this thing where we're like, come on, breathe, and say, I can do this, I can do this. Sophie's a bit scared.
Yeah, go down, it'll be warmer down here.
Go on, Sophie, she can do it.
Look, Sophie, you can do this. Breathe in, you can do this. Yes.
Yes.
You can do this. Breathe in, you can do this. Breathe in, you can do this. Yes, yes.
Yes, Sophie, yes. Woo! You did it. And she does it, and she's able to like overcome whatever the thing is.
Yeah,
like,
she's...
which a lot of people
anyone,
can't,
I've
do
got
that.
fears that I can't.
You can't just sit there and go, I can do this, and then do it. But yeah.
Imagine me trying to get in the sea. Breathe in, breathe out, and do this. I can't do this. Breathe
can't
in.
do it.
I can't do this.
What is the hardest bit of doing YouTube and your own business? Oh God, where do we start?
Oh, don't even say that, because that will be straight on the Daily Mail.
It has been honestly so tough. Like, well, we've got to be honest, right? It's been tough, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been really tough.
The last few months have been like really tough.
I think what it is that we've started a business that we didn't really know how hard it was, of like starting a clothing brand. Something that we didn't go to uni for, or, you know, so we've got to a level of where we can take it, but we do need to start having people that are in that kind of work to help us.
The learning curve for us has been massive. Like, it hasn't been a slow, gradual thing. Usually people start clothing brands and they take maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 years before they sort of get to the level of success that we've got to, which obviously we feel very blessed about, but it has been like thrown in at the deep end. Running a clothing line, if anyone's in the fashion industry, they know it is so full.
But also, what makes it full on, because so David has become like a full-time job. So we've obviously got dadvgirls and then David, both full-time jobs, and trying to manage the 5 girls and all their extra activities after school. You know, it's like our diary is rammed.
Trying to fit anything in our diary, how hard is it? Literally,
it's so hard. But it's really hard because I feel like the reason it's extra hard is because we love it. Like, we are so proud of it.
We care so much.
We do care. We want the quality to be perfect. So at the minute, we only have ourselves to blame, because we can't trust anyone else to do it, because we want it just to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
So the quality and everything is like has to reach our standards, and we.
Yeah.
So that we are like.
And we've also launched Soulskin, the fake tan brand that we launched, which is again an
Which
incredible
again has
product.
to be perfect.
And it is like super successful, but it is another thing that we're doing. So it's just finding the right team, hiring the right people, and us just kind of this learning about business and becoming bosses.
It's really
and all that
hard.
kind of stuff.
It
Like,
is
it's
really
difficult.
hard, but it's also really rewarding, and seeing so many of you wear it, buying it,
And seeing all the reviews for
supporting.
Soulskin, like people trying Soulskin, and the
Oh my
reviews.
god, my
have been-
DMs are like full.
At the moment, so my top things are obviously Soulskin. When people say they try it, it's literally the best. Like that's not coming from me, but it is. But
But everyone who's tried it pretty much have said like
that
it is
their
now
bed
my
sheets are
favourite.
clean. Like, but then also the other thing I have to say is like Daewoo socks.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
she was
God.
going.
No, they're so
They
good.
are the best.
They're so good.
They are literally the best socks. Like
The
when I
best
tell
product we
you-
made at Daewoo was
No,
socks.
when I tell
Kaci is
you,
so-
we like have spent. Oh my gosh, how long have we spent on trying to create these socks? They had to be the right thickness,
Oh,
the
God.
right length, positioning of the like branding. Like honestly, they are like the quality.
No, they're
like,
so fit. They're so good.
they and the right height. So when you wear like your Converse and stuff, like, honestly, like how many pairs did we
Buzzing about the
get the other
socks.
day? Like 16 pairs because we were like,
Yeah.
they are the best.
Like, every time they come back in from the wash of the clean bar,
They
I
are
see
my
them, I'm
go-tos.
like, yes.
And I'm not saying that because they're my brand. Genuinely, like, Joe will sometimes be like, why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing Daewoo? And I'm like, yeah. But I'm like, these socks are like the one.
But also, Sarah was so particular about the socks. I was like, because obviously, I don't know, like, I was just like, yeah, the first few samples, I'm like, yeah, these are good. And she's like, no.
Yeah, no. I kept putting my foot in, like, no. And I was like, yeah, that's so I'm rubbing my feet together.
Well, I'm
and I
moving
said
on
socks.
from the socks.
But
yeah.
guys, get your
Can't
socks.
deal.
Like,
But
get
yeah.
your socks, get your Soulskin. The Soulskin won't rub off on the socks. Thank me later.
The next question is, do you like having 5 girls or is it a hassle sometimes? Do you know what it is? It's like, Kaci and Grace have their own social lives and stuff, which obviously Kaci drives now and it's less hassle for us, but like obviously like Grace needs dropping, picking up, and then you've got like 3 little ones who are like on different vibes at the weekend, and it just feels like we're all over the place. We're either like, you can't entertain everyone at the same time. You're either doing like the farm with the little ones or you're doing something with the older ones, and like I think that is quite hard, just juggling everyone's schedule, everyone's.
But somebody asked me the other day, like, what is like my favourite relationship amongst the girls? And I was actually saying, like, my favourite is
You can't say your favourite.
not my favourite child, the favourite relationship that I see between the girls.
Oh, between the 2 girls.
Oh.
I was like, wow, you're really gonna.
Sorry.
You're
I was
basically
like,
gonna.
sorry, am I
She's
not
gonna
talking-
And
pick
she was
a
looking at me and I was
favourite.
like, wait, is it going to be me?
No, it's no, sorry, babes. No, but it is. It's Kaci and Chloe. Like their relationship is like genuine, like just so
Yeah.
lovely. Obviously, Casey's just been on holiday, and Chloe cried like so much. She had to
Who am
sleep
I
in
going
your,
to hang out with?
she had to
That's what
sleep
she
in your
said.
bed the night before, and then when she got home, she literally wanted to wake you up, and you had got in at like 4 a.m. I was like, no, you can't wake her up. She didn't wake up. She, okay, the only way she was okay with that is if you picked her up from school. So you had to pick her up from school, didn't you?
But also, what about
Yeah.
before she went on holiday, Kaci was out and she wanted to sleep in Casey's room because she was going to miss Kaci. And I put her to bed, Kaci wasn't in, and I was saying to her, when Kaci gets in, we will pick you up and put you into Casey's bed. And she was like, do you promise? And then Kaci came home, she was fast asleep, and I said to you, I was like, you better do it. Like, do not, because I have promised her. So we did. We moved her up into Casey's bed, but it is really sweet.
It is so sweet. It's like I feel like Kate, your personalities are so alike, yet because she's got you, it's 100 times more than what you was. Like
Yeah.
she's
No, because I was saying, because when I did that video of her and I took her out today, I was genuinely going to do that anyway, but I thought I'll just film it anyways. And then, because the night before I was thinking, I was like, oh my god, what did I talk about with her at breakfast? But you can actually genuinely have like an actual conversation with her. Like,
She's so entertaining.
like she is so entertaining. And she's so funny.
What's really funny, like with Chloe though, is, and a lot of people would never expect this, but she actually is like so confident at home and around the camera, but at school, she is not like that. She's the child that waits for a friend to come and ask her to come and play. Like the school, you know, but they've never seen her cheeky side.
You've seen on the videos, like, her manners are pretty terrible sometimes when she's being cheeky and funny, but she is not like that.
She's
at
just
school
not like
at
that. She
all.
helps.
She's like, I feel like she keeps up appearances at school, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a good thing to know that she knows, like, when she can be a bit crazy and when she has to kind of, like, buck up her ideas. But also, I'm not sure, like, I don't want her to go through life where she feels like she has to, like, live this split thing of, like...
Which is actually proof, because I did see one hate comment, and if you know who you are, this is dedicated to you. And they were saying about how, like, because you guys let Chloe be naughty, she's going to take that into school and everything, but she doesn't.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
And I didn't even know that was written, so
Yeah.
no. And this is the thing, it's like, you know, we as parents, we have a lot of banter, we have a lot of fun, but our kids are not rude. They would never be rude to another adult or even to us.
I think actually Maddie snatched a toy off a kid the other day.
She's learning and actually teaching her.
No, but do you know what,
sharing.
like, obviously that sometimes Chloe does play up for attention, whether that's camera or just sometimes, even if it's not camera, like we're just at the dinner table, she's getting a laugh out of someone, she can take it too far.
Still, that's me.
But they are, like, all our kids are really good.
Yeah, me was next when I see my name.
Yeah, Casey's like, okay, this is where I come in.
Oh my god.
Is Casey going travelling next year? And if she is, will she be vlogging it?
Yes, I'm going Australia with Ava, and then we're meeting Charlie and Ruben in Thailand and that, and yes, I will be vlogging.
Will she be vlogging?
She just vlogged in.
I vlogged Napa.
Did you actually vlog?
I vlogged the whole of Napa.
Did you actually vlog it?
I've got one whole SD card and a half.
Oh wow, I'm actually impressed because sometimes Casey will start a vlog, especially when we're on holiday. She'll start a vlog and she just will forget.
Can
and
I
not
just say,
finish it.
we can't talk too much then about Iron Apple because we need to wait for that vlog because that was
Oh, there's some questions in there about
juicy.
it. Okay, so you're gonna give us you're gonna spill the tea about Iron Apple.
Have you not got questions about it?
Any mad stories from Casey about Iron Apple trip?
Yes.
Keep it short because
Okay.
we've got places to be.
Yeah, I've got a whole video to come out. So, first night, got to Strip, went to some bar, it stunk in there, the drinks were rank, I thought, what is this? Get me home right now. Then, the second night, this guy kept trying it for Ava, she kept rejecting him, and then he ended up putting a cigarette out on her bum, burnt a hole through her skirt. The security, so Iris, so she's in chatting this guy, we've left, Iris has jumped down, punched this guy in the stomach, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Neither, she told me the next day, she punched him in the stomach. And where security have seen, there's like a bar that's like higher up, yeah? They've jumped from the bar over Iris, yeah? Someone's had to grab Iris out of the way and they've tackled the guy to the floor and kicked him out, yeah? And then my friend had a word with him, whatever, and he went home the next day, whatever. And then there was another way, me, Ava and Chloe walking home by ourselves, just loads of men just shouting things. If you rejected them, they just felt, F you then. Rang my mum, crying my eyes out, got back to the hotel room. My friend had men banging on her door, like, let us in, we know you're in there. So we had to go rescue them from their hotel so they could stay with us. But then after that, we had 9 boys of us.
By the way, those 9 boys are all her friends that they went with. They didn't just meet randomly 9 boys.
Yeah, it was brilliant. We had a good time and we worked out a structure that everyone liked in the evening.
Yeah.
And then had a good night.
After that, I had major anxiety, couldn't sleep every night until you got home. And then the night you got home, I slept like a baby.
There was one night where I did cry myself to sleep because it was dramatic. But
I had interrupted sleep as well because I had to wake up because she was crying in the bed next to me, which is kind of annoying. So, yeah.
Yeah,
well,
she woke me up.
No, so after these
it
first
was
couple
horrible.
of experiences,
The first couple of days was
basically the options on the table were we were saying we will pay for you and all of your friends to fly to Marbella, Ibiza, nicer areas. Like, please just take us up on the offer. We wanted her out of Iron Apple. She was like, no, I want to stay. Then there was talks from Sarah about me going to Iron Apple.
No joke.
I know you would have been
No
mortified.
joke.
But Sarah's like, even if you just stay in a hotel and you
And
don't
be
even
there.
see them, but
Just
just
be
if
there.
they needed you, they could come and knock on the
because
roof.
so what happened is
Wait, and there's one more option. I was contacting personal bodyguards in Iron Apple trying
so
to...
embarrassing.
Because it wasn't safe.
for
It wasn't safe.
3 nights when we had the first 3 nights.
We aren't well overprotective parents either, by the way. Obviously, we wouldn't let her go.
Like
But,
hearing you cry when you do not cry, like you Sometimes we like,
terrified.
what is your heart made of? Because you never cry, right? So the fact that you were crying on the phone, 3 o'clock in the morning, bear in mind, like I get woken up to her crying, like, and she started this sentence with, "I'm okay, but," and in that split second,
I heard I'm okay and I went back to sleep.
Yeah, you did.
No, I'm joking.
Like, you did. But in that split second, I can't tell you the amount of horrible thoughts that go through your head, and you think, how can I, like, it was just
I know, it's
horrible.
because I didn't know how to word it, because I was like, if I come on this phone straight away, she hears me crying, she's going to panic. And I was like, and if I go straight away saying there's been men coming up to us, she's going to panic. And so I was like, I need to say I'm okay, but then that also makes it sound worse. So it was such
I think that's good.
And it's also like,
It was
like, I wanted to tell her, but I also was like, I then felt bad because I then knew you then couldn't sleep, and I didn't want you worrying, because the thing is all they heard was just all the bad things, and they're not there, so they can't see that I am having a good time. It's just there is like little things where it makes it bad.
The thing is that
so it was difficult. Like,
we was worried, but we also like really judged you were the one there, so we judged your fault.
We trusted your
and like
opinion,
my
yeah.
gut was telling me to stay, because it was the first few nights where the rest of the boys hadn't come yet, and my gut was just telling me to stay.
But in the rest
And
of the
I'm glad
trip,
I
you did actually
and then
have
we had
such
a really
good time.
And we went to a strip club, and it was
An
a
experience.
simulation, bruv. It was like GTA.
Alright, next question is, when is Ava moving in?
Oh my god, I got such a funny story for this. So my mum and dad were sending me, like, my mum found like this really nice house, whatever, and it had like an annex, because I said that if we bought a house that had an annex, I wouldn't move out, because I'd have basically my own place.
Basically, we've always said that we would buy a house with an annex for Sophie. In case it's like, well, if you buy that earlier, we won't move out, because we weren't planning on buying and moving anytime soon. But then you were like, buy it now and I can move into it. And then we were like, oh, we don't want Kaci to move out. And we started looking.
No, and
even though we're not ready to buy it, we're like, okay.
So mum
what about-
sends me this one, yeah, and I'm like, oh, it's a 2-bed annex. So like, does that mean I have to share with Grace? And like, my mum goes, no, it's Ava's room. Well, if that's the option, I think I'd rather have a dressing room.
So if we get a house with an annex, we get Kaci to stay at home longer. Because that's the thing, is for me, I'm like, once they move out, that's it, they're out, right? So in a kind of way, like, I think the longer they can stay at home, the better, because just memories.
And you know, like what we were saying was like, life is so busy, like, it's just really nice to, like, sometimes of an evening, like you having your friends here, it's just, we just really enjoy, like, yours and theirs.
But
company,
Ava does
like-
pretty much live here now. Like, I keep saying to her, I'm basically going to have to start charging her rent.
She's got a key now.
What's your opinion on Kaci getting lit for that? In fact, even some of my friends asked me this, because they knew that she... And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like my views
Hannah asked me
now...
that as well.
My views now to when I was, like, when you were a bit younger, I feel like I've changed a lot. Like, I'm a lot more
I wasn't even allowed to
easygoing.
get my ears pierced.
I'm so much
No,
more
it's
easygoing. I'm like, I just don't see the harm in it. Like, so many girls are getting it done. I don't... You know, it's not like she's got, like, huge lips. You can't even really know.
Also, we were very strict on, like, who you went to as well.
Yeah, I think you need to go
You
somewhere.
need to go, to a very trusted... And,
So my friend's wife did it, and she's, like, really good.
She's an actual doctor, and, like, does it on that.
Yeah.
So we.
But I don't know. It just doesn't bother me.
So I think as long as we knew it was safe, it's not permanent, like, you know.
Just don't see the big
I do think, like, making sure you go somewhere where it's right and safe, because there is a lot of people that it goes wrong, and like, but yeah.
So question here, are you still planning on making a podcast? So me and Sarah are making a podcast, and it's taken ages, but we're super excited because we've actually signed a deal with a studio, which we can't mention yet because it hasn't been announced, but it is very, very exciting. They have
and
some
next
other...
week we're talking about our set.
Yeah, we're having a whole set built for us, and it's going to have a producer and everything. It's going to be...
Like, we won't start filming them until September, because obviously the 6 weeks holiday and the holiday booked, and so I think, like, when the kids go back to school in September, we'll be able to get in the studio and
also
start
I feel like it's, although we share a lot on YouTube, like, there's so much we don't share on there, so I feel like it's going to be, even though it's like it's open for anyone to watch, I feel like it's a bit more of a safe space of, like, we'll feel more comfortable just to talk more, like, behind the scenes of what goes on in our lives. So I'm really excited.
I don't know why, and I could be so wrong, and I could be ready for a load of backlash when we start podcasts, but I feel like in YouTube you're a lot more judged, whereas, like, in podcasts I feel like you can say and do a lot more, and people relate to it more.
It's acceptable.
Like, I feel like, and you say and do things on YouTube, you're judged a lot more.
I'm taking my Napa vlog as my transition into my more adult content now.
Well, how adult? That's
No,
just
not
not
Miley
weird.
Cyrus Wrecking Ball kind of
because I'm like
transition.
Because I'm like 18
Hannah Montana
now.
to Wrecking Ball. That was just too quick, too soon.
Because I'm like 18 now. It doesn't have to be.
You get the
PG
best.
on
It
my,
came in like a red.
like, as in I can do like drinking videos now and things like that.
Oh God, where have the years
Right, we'll
gone?
talk about that off camera.
Right, how was the stendu? So if you don't know, like me and Sarah had a joint stag and hen do.
It literally
which
was
a
like
stendu.
the best.
It was the best.
We had the best time. It was,
But-
everyone was on top form.
But I don't want to spend too long talking about it. We'll talk about it in our podcast. But basically, the girls
Yeah, so
girls
the
were in a
girls'
separate
villa,
villa,
boys' villa. Bit of
The
a Love
girls' villa
Island.
got burgled, and it was so bad.
Yeah,
it was
we
so
did-
scary,
yeah.
and it was so creepy, and it was like proper scary, wasn't it? And
It was horrible.
Like all their passports,
And
everything
the
got
thing is,
stolen.
like, we then looked into it, and this villa had been getting broken into like year after year. And they obviously knew where the safe was because they didn't wreck the villa at all. They went straight to the safe,
Ripped it
took
off
our
the wall.
safe where it had our passports and money, and
They stole
went and took all
designer
our bags,
handbags,
our glasses, like
everything.
yeah,
it was bad. It was
horrible.
me, Sarah, and two other girls that went. Basically, we left from the club early and we went back there. And when we got there, it was just so eerie going in there and realising that someone could even be in the house.
And which we think they
which
were.
we think they were
I'm
when we
pretty
pulled
sure
up.
they
It's
were.
because one of the bathroom windows upstairs had been opened, almost like they heard us turn up and they were trying to get out that bathroom window.
And that was the only, so that was mine and Becky, and that's the only room they didn't take the rest of the designer stuff.
Yeah.
And you saw they'd tipped something out, and they'd obviously been tipped. Everyone else's
And
suitcase
also,
has
we
been,
were
like, pulled
we were
out.
only out the house for an hour and a half. So
Yeah, from the last person getting the taxi to where we were.
So
to us being like, we're too
the
tired, let's
chances
go
are
home.
that I mean, this had just happened, so I think they were in the house, and
Pretty sure.
it could have been a lot worse. And thankfully, they weren't still in the house. But yeah, it was pretty scary. But it didn't ruin the holiday. It did put a big down on it. It did shake up all the girls. They were all obviously.
Yeah, so then
like,
all the
shaken up.
girls, there was 10 girls, we all then moved into the boys' villa, and then, yeah, it was
But
horrible.
we still had an amazing holiday.
Yeah.
Does Kaci have any tattoos?
Yeah.
She's got 2.
So I got this one for my 17th birthday in Spain with Ava and Chloe, and mine's the best out of all of ours.
That's not
Ava's
that
like, we got tattoos in Napa as well, and even the woman said that Ava's was the worst out of all of ours. And Ava's like, I'm 100% getting it lasered off. I'm at the point where I don't think mine's
It's basically
that bad.
3 butterflies, but they're a bit like blurry, aren't they?
Yeah, they're just like quite dark, but I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, I could have got them done better, but it's not my biggest mistake, and I don't hate it enough to get it removed. Like, and then I got this heart in Napa.
It looks like a biro.
It looks like it's got gaps.
No,
Wait.
it's peeling.
Oh, right, don't
Oh,
pick it
okay.
in.
It's peeling. But I was saying to Mum earlier that I want to get more like kind of like sticker tattoos on this arm where it's, so I really want to get Davu tattooed on me, permanent branding. Because I feel like the thing is I like the heart, but I feel like at the moment because I've got no other tattoos, it's very random and I can't look at it and not think of a doodle. So I was like, I need to get other ones so that it kind of like goes.
I like that kind of style of tattoo, even though I don't have that. I have like full sleeves where everything joins up, but I kind of like those like individual.
Yeah, and then I want to get like Brighton under here with Ava matching, and then I want to get. Well, I wanted to get a rose on the back of mine, but Mum got that in Ibiza, so I'm not going to get it there.
Funny story.
Slowly.
The other day, I got out of the shower. I forgot I had just had this done. I caught it in the glimpse of the mirror. No joke, I thought it was a spider on me. Started screaming, and I was like, "Oh, it's a toe." Like, because I just saw like a little bit.
But a
so-
rose is actually the flower of the birth month of June, so I don't actually know why you have it.
And it's a rose. Everyone has a rose. Like I have
But
about 5 roses
I want it on like the side, like
on your hip.
yeah.
I already got rose.
Right, cool. Well, that is all the time. Well, that's all we have time for. Why does it sound like I'm on a radio show? Say that's all, folks. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.